Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me for an evening class. I hope you've had a good day. We are here for Brittany Dawn Internet History Lesson number 3, Brittany's horse Harley. The larger topic, Brittany's sketchy, sordid history with her animals. There's a lot that goes into this, so I'm not going to try and go over everything in one video. We're going to go over Harley specifically in this video, and then maybe we will talk about Brody. Just depends on how quickly we can get through this. So, like I said, Brittany Dawn does not have a great history with pets. It's kind of like the classic social media influencer thing where she gets a living creature and uses it as a prop. So Brittany posts a lot about getting dogs as birthday gifts, as Christmas gifts, dogs being like her emotional support animal, her protector, depending on which animal she's talking about at the time, and how she is like totally a ranch girl, ranch life. She claims that she was a vet tech for 5 years. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's what she says. So Brittany posts a lot about animals, despite not having the greatest history with her own animals. And so one of the negative scenarios, let's say, surrounding Brittany and her animals revolves around her horse Harley. And you can see this is a Yelp review for, I think it's called McKinney Horseplex, a boarding facility in Texas. And this is from Brittany Dawn. You know, the review was over 3 years ago, but she gave this place 1 star. And I have it over here, so I'm gonna read it out from my laptop. Y'all, I had to dig through the archives for this. I saved this Saturday, July 15th, 2023. So this was, I covered this on YouTube, obviously, a while ago. But so, Brittany put, my horse was removed from this facility due to lack of care and malnourishment. I'm thankful that I got him out when I did. I would not recommend McKinney Horseplex for the well-being of your horse. Simple, to the point, 1 star. She said, don't go here. Well, Miss Cheryl J., the business owner, had the time to respond to this, and she wrote the following. Dear Brittany, I appreciate all reviews of our facility, even those I might not necessarily agree with. To be clear to the public reading this, your horse Harley was at our facility for 7 months during 2018. You were late on board once. So the horse was there in 2018 for 7 months. She was late 1 time. Following up, she says in 2019, so the horse was there for 12 months, all year in 2019. In 2019, out of 12 months of board, you were late 9 times, requiring multiple calls and text messages for payment. In 2020, you were late 5 out of 5 months, and you threatened if I made you pay your final payment, you would write bad reviews on Yelp and Google. Looks like she followed through on that. I think it is important people know that the before, quote unquote, the healthy picture of Harley was actually taken after he was at our facility for about a year and taken on one of the maybe 5 times you visited in the entire time he was boarded with us. So she's saying you visited maybe 5 times over the course of, let's call it 2 years, because it was full 2019, 7 months in, oh yeah, that is 2 years, because 7 months in 2018, the full 12 months of 2019, and then 5 months in 2020. So 2 years. Yeah, so the after pictures were taken after he had been, she said, taken one of the maybe 5 times you visited and the entire time he was boarded with us. The quote-unquote after pictures were taken after he had been sick for weeks with a draining wound, and you would not have a vet out, nor did you come out to see him yourself. McKinney Horseplex actually stepped up and paid the vet in advance to get your horse medical care. At this point, you still had not paid your prior year's vet bill. As you were an absent owner, several of us took Harley over, mainly Jennifer and I. We loved Harley and did the best we could, up to including doing all his care when he was sick, paying the vet so he would come out, etc. Anyone who wants to find out more about Brittany, Harley's owner, just needs to do a little research on Google. Brittany Dawn Fitness. Best of luck to everyone finding a facility that is the right fit. And Cheryl did mention photos. Brittany posted photos with her review of Harley, like, very sickly looking and malnourished compared to one of Harley looking very strong and stocky. So yeah, Brittany says that this horseplex neglected her animal and made them sick. And they're saying, no, like, you wouldn't come out, like, you weren't paying. We said a vet needs to come out here, you wouldn't pay for a vet to come out. And to be honest, like, I know I'm not going to show the pictures on here because I don't think I can. Like, I posted a response to somebody, and I used a picture of Emma Roberts from American Horror Story, where she's like, surprise, but you thought you'd seen the last of me, and it got taken down for hate speech. So I don't think I can show these pictures of an emaciated horse. But, like, for the horse to go from what Brittany Dawn says the before was to what her after photos show, it's like, how long were you not seeing your pet? Pet sounds silly, but, like, that's your horse. How long were you not seeing your horse that the horse got in that bad of shape? If you're the one who cares so much about this horse, like, how did it get that sick? How did it get that emaciated and, like, skinny and you can see the ribs? So that is just one incident that Brittany has related to her animals. Brittany also got another horse and, like, did not do a great job introducing him. I think this horse is Gunner. Again, she's had, like, a ton of animals. So I think the newer horse is Gunner, and he ended up injuring Harley or one of her other horses. Gunner injured another horse that Brittany had. So, because she didn't introduce them properly, and so it resulted in one of her animals being injured. So that's another thing that happened. We're gonna skip the Brody story. That's gonna be a separate video in and of itself. I'm trying to think if there's anything else pertinent related to the horses. I think pretty much everything else is about the dogs. But I mean, Brittany makes, like, being a ranch girl her entire personality, and yet just, like, the things that she posts about her horses are pretty questionable. And clearly she had an issue with McKinney Horseplex, and if we're gonna go based on whose side of things we believe, I'm not inclined to believe Brittany. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me for episode 3 of Internet History. Yeah, let me know what you think.